Okay, I didn't actually plan on making an episode this today, but that Monday night game, I just can't stop thinking about it. It's probably the best regular season game that I've ever saw. If you don't know what Monday night's game was, it was Seahawks versus 49ers. And the Seahawks won in overtime by a field goal of 27-24. And man, I watched that game twice. I'm going to keep it on my DVR so I can watch it during the off season. Because, man, like, let's break this down from quarter by quarter. First quarter, San Francisco gets up by 10. Seahawks offense looks like it's having trouble against the 49ers defense, which 49ers defense is really scary. Their defensive line just really took apart that Seahawks offensive line the first quarter. And then in the second quarter, Seahawks score 7. Pretty sure it was because of a fumble. Can't really remember, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it was because of a fumble. And then later on this second quarter, like almost to halftime, Seahawks start driving down the field, and then they fumbled the ball at like the 2-yard line. And it seems like both teams had a hard time not turning over the ball. Like, there was a couple fumbles throughout this game, a couple interceptions. Then the third quarter, Seahawks start coming back, score 14, 2 touchdowns, and the Seahawks offense started getting things rolling, and they started looking really good. At some point, Diggs, former Lions, gets his first interception as a Seahawk, and it made me cry a little bit inside as a Lions fan. And then Seahawks score field goal in the fourth quarter, and 49ers score 14. And then in OT, first the Seahawks start driving downfield, and then Russell Wilson throws an interception. I'm not going to put that against him because he had a great game other than that. I think he's actually an MVP candidate because, man, he looked really good this game. Then once the ball was intercepted, the 49ers start driving downfield, get into field goal range, and their regular kicker got hurt, and then they signed this random free agent that was literally off the streets like less than 4 days ago, and he missed the field goal, which is fine because, it's like his first game and he's asking to win a game in OT. That's a lot of pressure to put on a guy. But yeah, then the Seahawks get the ball back and they drive downfield, and then they kick the field goal to win it in overtime. And man, I can't stress enough how good this game was. It was so fun to watch. Like, it was like two heavyweights fighting against each other. Like, I don't think there's ever been a better regular season game. I really mean that, because I never even thought about that question, what is the best regular season game, until I watched this game. So I firmly believe this is the best regular season game, just because it popped into my head. Because, I've seen some really good regular season games, but I've never even thought about what is the best regular season game until I watched this game. And man, so 49ers are still ahead of the Seahawks in the division because the 49ers are 8-1 and the Seahawks are 8-2. And I don't think San Francisco should feel that bad about this loss because of how close it was. I know it was to a division rival on Monday night, but here's the thing. The chances of the 49ers getting to a Super Bowl, for me, hasn't dropped, or not dropped that much. This game just made the Seahawks' chances of winning a Super Bowl just a little bit higher, and Russell Wilson chances of MVP a whole lot higher. Man, I've always said Russell Wilson's a underrated quarterback, but man, like, if he doesn't get MVP this year, I don't know what he has to do. Like, oh man, and you just usually when quarterback, if people don't remember, Russell Wilson is now the highest paid quarterback in the NFL, or a highest paid player in the NFL history. And like usually when quarterbacks set the new standard of, you know, how high can you bring that paycheck up, usually they do terrible. Like Matt Ryan when he got his huge payday. Joe Flacco. Like any quarterback that gets a huge payday usually does terrible because they take such a big hit to the team salary cap that they don't have any more room to pay for other players. But back to the 49ers and Seahawks game. Russell Wilson threw for 232 yard, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. 24 for 34. 34. I don't know how to word that, but he threw the ball 34 times and completed 24. That's the best way I can say it, I guess. But even though those aren't crazy stats, those are still pretty good stats against a crazy good 49ers defense. And he looked like the whole offense was him, basically. Like, they had a decent running game, but almost the whole offense was him. Now, it's not like the 49ers played bad. I'm not going to say 49ers played awful by any means of the imagination. Jimmy Garoppolo had an okay day, even though he has very similar stats to Russell Wilson this game. He still looked good, but he didn't look as accurate as I thought he would be. And by no means of the imagination did he lose the game for him, but he didn't make these magical plays that Russell Wilson did. I think so. It's very clear that Russell Wilson's the better quarterback to Jimmy Garoppolo, but that's not really much of a hot take. But I just surprised how similar their stats was this game. Jimmy Garoppolo threw for 248 yards and 1 touchdown, 1 interception, almost exactly same as Russell Wilson. But the one thing I did notice about the 49ers offense is that they like doing a lot of different formations, and I really like that. They utilize all their running backs. They do a lot of neat stuff on offense. Kind of reminds me of the Chicago's offense, but with a competent quarterback, I guess. Yeah, like you couldn't ask for a better game. Like, man, it sucks that the 49ers perfect season's over and no one's perfect now, but man, like, what a way for that to end. And I'm glad it was against the Seahawks and not like some bogus team in like the week 13 that, you know, really doesn't matter. So the 49ers don't want to get their players hurt, so they put like the practice squad out there so they can prepare for the playoffs. I'm glad it was against the Seahawks, a competent team, actually a really good team now. And I consider the Seahawks a really good team now because, man, they really showed it Monday. But yeah, if you haven't seen it yet and somehow it's on your DVR, go watch it. I know you already know the outcome, but you gotta watch this game. It's a fun game to watch even if you know the score. But I guess that's the end of the video, and see you guys later.